So I was getting text messages all last night from my friends, from people that had people in Hawaii and things like that. And so I said, prayers up, because there's just nothing you can do about natural disasters. So apparently, they had big earthquakes off in Russia.
All right, so this is some new video just into our newsroom. This is from an area in Russia, and this is our first look at this tsunami wave, where we can see, this is called the, I'm sorry if I mispronounce this, the Severo-Kurilsk area. And this is in Russia's Kuril Islands. And you can see the tsunami wave coming, and you can see it doing damage. And that's our first look at that as this repeats, Marla.
Yeah, and on a closer look, you'll see the buildings being swept away. So these images are out there. There's a watch for the entire West Coast coastline. Here's what I'm talking about here when you're seeing the buildings being swept away. This is one of the largest top 10 earthquakes to strike
since 1990. Since 1900. One of the top 10 earthquakes in the world since 1900, 8.7 magnitude quake. And you think about, earthquakes as you get up in magnitude, they're not all the same. I mean, that is a enormous earthquake, which we think happened out in the middle of the ocean. Because if something like that would have happened right under land, the devastation would be, unbelievable. But as we saw with Japan, when we had that big quake there in Fukushima, the tsunami was more deadly than the quake itself. And we know the power of water in terms of a tsunami wave is about as powerful a force as there is on Earth. And it can move buildings, it can move cars, and it can kill a lot of people quickly. Hopefully we don't have that situation here, but it is concerning when we start hearing about these warnings and watches.
This is a live look at a location in Japan. So you're seeing the activity in the ocean, of course. As it relates to the concern here, Hawaii has just been upgraded from a tsunami warning to a tsunami watch. If it strikes there, it will be 7 o'clock, 7:15 their time, local time, Hawaii time, which is not until the 10 o'clock hour for us. We're hearing that would translate. Here's a live look at Hawaii and Waikiki Beach. We're hearing that the worst of it, if it were to happen along the West Coast, would happen in the 1 a.m. hour Wednesday.
Right. So again, Hawaii now a warning up from a watch. Which means that they're more concerned about it and that they're going to be having literal alarm bells, which they have set up for potential tsunamis that will be blaring in Hawaii over the next few hours to get people prepared.
That's the one thing about living in places like Hawaii and California, is that along with the good weather, you also may have more natural disasters and things that are happening on this earth. And somebody said it in the chat. They said water is way more powerful. I think that the water, the oceans in general, is just more devastating. I don't think that there's anything more dangerous than the ocean. I don't think that there's anything on the face of this earth, not your mama, not Umar Johnson's donations, not nothing. I don't think that there's not Fleece Johnson, the booty warrior. There is nothing more scary than the ocean, bro. Than the ocean. It's like, it's the only thing on this earth that we have no control over. We have zero control over what the heck happens when it happens. We just wait for stuff to happen, and then we just try to adjust along with it. So I also will say it seems like Russia is catching hell right now. Russia can't catch a break. Russia cannot catch a break. And I'm not one of them people that say, this is because you can't get right. But sometimes I'll be thinking to myself, maybe y'all need to get yourselves together and stop having all of these people killed. Mountains are crumbling. Yeah, Russia, they got a lot going on, bro. I wouldn't want to be a Russian. I even was listening and I was reading an article. Yep, some of us still read. Look at that. Look at all of the water being sucked out into the ocean. Whole buildings is being washed away. That's crazy. That's insane. See, I'm not the type of person to film. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm the type of person to be getting up out of there. I'm not trying to be popular on social media. I'm that type of time.
Завод тонет. Наш завод все вам тонет.
If I'm Russia, I'm gonna go ahead and make a ceasefire deal at this point. You got to deal with a
Всей нашей
tsunami. You got to
морпродукции.
deal with millions of people dying inside of your country too. Molly says, "Is this normal?" I don't know. I have no idea if this is normal. Don't seem normal.
Ой, бля.
Don't seem normal. I was reading an article the other day, and it was talking about how Russia is using within Russia, because see, what we get in our media is completely different than what's really happening over there, right? And they say those people over there is terrified. They say the people in Russia is terrified because what they're doing is they're using media and propaganda in order to recruit people to try to get them to sign up so that they can actually fight in this Ukraine war. And it's another reason why they had to do a deal with the Koreans in order to recruit them to come over and die on behalf of Russia also, right? And this is the definition of selling out your people. For all of y'all that think that Russia is so awesome and that they plan things the right way, them people trying to get up out of there. So this is the type of propaganda that they're using. They're basically saying, hey, we'll give you this amount of money or this amount up front, and then we're going to continue to give you this amount of money for every so often after you've stuck around inside of our military. But then they stick them out there and they be getting maimed and killed, and it's not anything that they expected it. And so one of the things they saying, be a real man and come and fight for your country. Translation, come over here and die for a dictator that don't care nothing about you and is not even tripping about the money that it's going to take in order to do it. Seriously. It's crazy. Y'all seriously need to start reading, like start deep diving into some of this stuff. A lot of this stuff I don't talk about because I know that it may not necessarily be interesting to you, but it is some real stuff that's happening out here in these streets, in these other countries. And y'all letting this Western media be the only thing that you're using as a form of communication or understanding to better know exactly what's happening.
All right, this is a Fox News alert. A massive 8.8 magnitude earthquake off the coast of Russia has now triggered tsunami advisories, watches, warnings included Japan, Hawaii, Alaska, Guam, the entire west coast of the U.S., including California, Oregon, Washington State. Tsunami warning sirens have been sounding in Hawaii, telling residents evacuate now to higher ground. Here with more, Fox Weather Zone, Steve Bender is with us. This now has been upgraded to 8.8. That would make it in the top 10 most powerful earthquakes ever in history that's been recorded, correct?
Correct. It would be number 6 now, Sean, when we look at this. And this continues to change. When it first came out, local time, just after 2 a.m. At Kamchatka, Alaska, 8 miles off the coast, it was 8.0. Then it jumped to 8.7. 8.8 is where we stay now. And last time we talked, Sean, that seems like a minute detail, a small change. It means it has 1.5 times more energy that's being dispersed out thousands of miles along the Pacific, triggering all those tsunami alerts that we have. So from an 8.7 to an 8.8 is actually a big difference. So we'll show you how massive this energy is sprawling out from the epicenter, 8 miles removed from the eastern coast of Russia. Tsunami warning for the Aleutian Islands, tsunami warning for Hawaii, and a watch in place for the West.
Bet y'all didn't even know that was Hawaii. That's literally the size of Hawaii. All it is a strip of islands. That's it. That's all Hawaii is a strip of islands. And so the weather is beautiful in the summertime, But boy, when something happened in Hawaii, it is over. That's why everything is so expensive in Hawaii. Because you literally got to ship everything there in order for you to have some of the same modern conveniences that we have here on land in the United States of America. It's the same thing when it comes to the Maldives. Have y'all ever seen the Maldives and what it looks like? They little strip. You got to take a small plane to get there. That's why I'm not in a rush. I'm not in a rush at all to go to some of these places. Y'all see them on Instagram. Oh my God, I want to go to the Maldives. And I'll be looking like, yeah, I'm not really afraid of the ocean or water, but those are like little dots. Those are like little dots over there, And I was looking like, do they got good internet? That's the first thing that I ask everywhere that I go. Everywhere that I go, the first thing that I ask is, how good is the internet connection? How good is the intranet connection? I need to be connected. I got money to get, people to see, things to do, and all of that of what's going on inside of out here in these streets. I need to know, what is the intranet doing? What the internet doing? What they got popping over there with the internet? Maldives, they got the good internet. Are you trying to have me sealed off from the rest of the world? You know what? I'm gonna figure it out first. I need to know what the internet is doing.
Goes. You mentioned Hawaii, right? And we've been getting the updates from Oahu, the emergency management. They have sirens going on right now. I think we have a live visual from Hawaii because, Sean, when you and I were talking, you think about what we're in right now. It's the summertime. Families are going to Hawaii. You're trying to make a dream out of this opportunity. And now you're hearing these sirens erupt. We saw people that were just relaxing at the beach, and big concerns about after 7:15 local time this evening is when the tsunami is expected to make impacts. This is something to take seriously in Oahu. The emergency management says you need to get to higher ground. If you're in a building and needs to be at least 10 stories, get to the 4th story or above, or that's not tall enough, find a bigger building. We start looking at the Aleutian Islands. This is actually where we look at the Aleutian megathrust. It's these tectonic plates. It's the most active spot in the entire world is in the North Pacific. I was talking with an Alaskan seismologist, Dr. Michael West, just earlier this month because of a big quake we had then. That was a 6 point something. Now we're at an 8.8. Looking at Hawaii, we are also getting some updates that out of Hilo, the airport is now closed because they're using this as the spot where they're going to be getting out emergency personnel to coordinate with any of the impacts that are going to happen. So they are shutting down the airports. They're getting the sirens, and they're telling everybody you need to get to higher ground. The visuals that we have seen on social media so far, and we're working to confirm.
I heard about this. I seen this on Instagram, where people is all of a sudden getting mad at Oprah again because she didn't open up her road in order for them to get to higher ground. Y'all so tiring. Y'all can't wait to get mad at somebody that's rich because y'all poor. If somebody comes in and gentrifies your area, that's just the way that it is. That's capitalism. It is what it is. Don't come to the mountain Caucasus of Hawaii, and then it just is what it is. You got priced out, bro. You got priced out. Everybody want to get mad at Oprah. She's not opening up her road. That's why it's called a private road. That's why it's called a private road, so she can go over there and hang out with her friends. Mark Zuckerberg is continuing to fortify his fortress on Hawaii. It's just the way that it is, baby. Take that L. Take that L. So, anyways, prayers up for the people that are affected by the earthquake. And I hope that everything goes well.